Hello, everyone. I just have one little quick confession before I do all this. So, with X-Men, I follow X-Men's everything, but it's been 3 years since I actually watched their podcast. Yeah, I know. That's horrible, isn't it? But I actually went and watched a podcast, and it's actually been, I think, at least 2 to 3 years since I last saw their podcast. Yeah, wow, right? So, this is actually going to be nothing but something to help add the dots up together on this whole Marvel Cinematic Universe, because they basically said how Hydra had to be thrown in because slow people are able to put it together. So, I am going to be here to talk through all of it, every single thing, from Iron Man all the way to Winter Soldier. I'm going to put all of it in perspective and connect the dots. Chances are this might get a little bit messy. It might actually turn into nothing but a tangle of webs, or actually will be nothing but a big Christmas light where you have to untangle all of it before you can put it on a tree. With that said, all right, let's go with Iron Man 1. Oh, actually, let's go previous. Yeah, so before Iron Man 1, we had Howard Stark, who was killed. Yeah, Howard Stark, who was killed by Hydra, actually. And he actually formed S.H.I.E.L.D., but we find out in the second movie they actually formed S.H.I.E.L.D. And we get even more deeper of seeing how S.H.I.E.L.D. got created and everything in a later exact movie. So, with that said, we basically will come with the full story of Tony Stark. The fact that Tony Stark was just a millionaire and stuff. It turns out Obadiah Stane was dealing under the table. So, who's to say that he wasn't actually issuing shield weapons, aka Hydra weapons, to Hydra? I mean, well, technically Shield is getting weapons from Tony Stark. It makes sense because you think they're gonna actually have like another place where they're like, all right, we need to get all ammos and stuff. Yeah, whoever wants to sign in and create the weapons so we have weapons to defend ourselves, come over here and fill out this form. No, they most likely will buy it from someone. And why not Stark? Why not Tony Stark? So, with that said, basically the underhanding dealings. We have the 10 rings, and the 10 rings connected to Obadiah Stane, and Obadiah was trying to kill Tony Stark, so he would basically... Well, it doesn't really make sense because... So, let's see. Yeah, they basically were going to kill Tony Stark, but they didn't because they figured out who he was. So Obadiah Stane was planning to kill Tony Stark. But we have no idea why unless we scroll right into Winter Soldier and say, hey, Winter Soldier. And, man, freaking Zola most likely has been there for years and years. And chances are they actually have new bases. Like I said in the previous video, he most likely have different places where he has brain backups. And the original brain backup is most likely his backup, but it got destroyed. So anyways, if Zola actually still exists and he actually has that program, and the program might be in development, might already be made, and etc., that chances are it means that they did a scan and they freaking said, oh hell no, Tony Stark is going to ruin our plans. We gotta kill this fool. So does that actually mean that Obadiah Stane somehow is connected to Hydra? Maybe, or it could just be mid-coincidence. We don't really know. I mean, he could be within Hydra. He could not. I mean, he would actually know about S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff, and they could actually had a more in-depth S.H.I.E.L.D. and Obadiah Stane, and Obadiah... Basically, we'll have Agent Coulson going to Obadiah Stane. He's talking to Stane and stuff. If they do have previous stuff like that, and if they actually release previous or new footage to actually show that Obadiah Stane could be a part of Hydra, shoot. Because if Obadiah Stane was willing to straight up kill Tony Stark, chances are he could actually have killed his father, meaning not only Zola got the command to kill his father, and Winter Soldier is along with it. It could have been Obadiah Stane himself, who actually was a part of Hydra, but this is only just a theory. This is a boxed up theory that could actually work or could not. I'm just trying to figure out exactly in Iron Man 1 because it's like, so Obadiah Stane, for some reason, wants power. Which I guess that makes sense why he made the suit, but I think it should be more in depth than that. And, well, basically the 10 rings have been issued. And Obadiah Stane shot up all 10 rings. He shot up that sector of 10 rings. He shot up that place. And you would figure if they really could have had more money in the budget and stuff, that they actually would have had 10 rings straight up come to America and straight up attacking Obadiah Stane because, well, hey, that kind of seems like a diss to the Mandarin. So, yeah. But really, I guess Iron Man 1 was just the starting point of it. That's all. That's really everything. It's just Iron Man is just the starting point of it all. It could connect, but I just think it's just a origin story, and the Ten Rings does drag all the way to Iron Man 3 in some way, shape, or form. Alright, next up is, I think was the real starting point, which, well, before then, of course, you have the ending credits where you had Nick Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D. found its perfect name. They've been playing around for that name for years, I guess. I mean, that's one thing that's kind of got cramped style is the fact that Agent Coulson actually was, they were making it funny, yes, but if back then they freaking said S.H.I.E.L.D., then, yeah, I mean, or maybe he's not that bright, or maybe along the way they just basically forgot, hey, it spells shield or something. But, yeah, let's just not get into that and just say that in the end credits you had Nick Fury showing up and basically said, I want to talk about the Avengers initiatives. Ooh. Yeah. That was yeah, I was right about the whole end credits thing, and Mom was like, hey, Aunt May was like, there's no end credits. And I was like, Mom, I think there is an end credits. I'm staying. And she's like, all right, I'll go to the bathroom and such and such. All right, anyways, next is Incredible Hulk. Next is the Incredible Hulk, and sadly, Edward Norton is not actually playing as the Hulk these days. But even so, you basically have the Hulk, and technically with the movie, all they used for the movie period is just making sure the Hulk got hyped up and the Hulk was getting ready and prepped. So just for the Avengers, Hulk will actually be available. And with that, I don't really see anything messed up except for the Abomination thing, and Tony Stark was able to link up the movie with his movie. The universe is connecting together. And basically you come to the first thing that was in Thor. Or Iron Man 2. No, I think it was Thor. So, yeah, with Thor, they basically had this Marvel one-shot, quote-unquote, which you're able to find on the internet, most likely on Dailymotion. And basically, this one was with the guy who was like, yeah, we need to basically take out the idea that Abomination can be a part of the Avengers or something like that. So, sadly, it's now painful to see this and being like, Coulson's friend is actually a part of Hydra. Man. Jeez, his friends. Man, Coulson's friends. I mean, gee whiz. But yeah, so it seems to me that that's connected. I think chances are maybe Hydra wanted Abomination as well, so they're able to get Abomination. Of course, they wouldn't be able to show Abomination within the TV series because, man, that's a lot of CG they have to do. And it's even worse the fact that they're going to have to explain, if they do bring back the actor who played as him, explain, yeah, let's see how he came back to human form, because, well, yeah, he could come back to human form, but we don't really know about that, do we? And besides, if he got knocked the freak out, which he did, you would figure that he would just turn back to human form after being knocked out. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But there's something there that connects it. There's something there. Sadly, I can't really truly connect it, but yeah, there's something there. With Movie Magic, I actually watched it, and I'm trying to figure out how exactly it works. But all it did is just make sure Abomination was mentioned, and Abomination actually is in the care of General Ross. So General Ross has Abomination, and I don't know. I mean, how in the world Hydra is going to be able to get Abomination? So that one has a little bit to do with it, a little bit not to do. And the only messed up part is actually saying how the head-ups, which the head-ups have nothing to do with Hydra whatsoever. They got freaking freaked out when they found out when they got in gunpoint in Winter Soldier. Which the crazier part is the fact that how come in Avengers they were blurred out. They were straight up in black. And now in Winter Soldier, they're straight up, ta-da, here we are. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, so that doesn't really do anything. Basically, this is just another movie where they can establish a hero, and that's basically it. I mean, you just basically have just General Ross who is pursuing him and trying to get the super soldier / getting Bruce's blood so they can figure out how they can redo it, which they do have Abomination, so they could actually use Abomination's DNA, even though they won't really have control over it. And that basically brings the end to what Incredible Hulk brings to the table. Then Iron Man 2 is the start. I guess Iron Man 2 is really the start of it all. So someone told me, or someone I read, is that the 10 Rings was actually a part of Iron Man 2, and he had a very small role, which it's not really identified exactly who did it, because yeah, you can basically say the 10 Rings. They definitely want vengeance against Tony Stark because of what he did to their explosives and stuff. The fact that they're not getting any more weapons and stuff from him. I mean, they have like so many reasons, I suppose, why they'll basically go after him. So they basically say, hey, how you doing, Ivo? So Ivo, you basically have some technology that will most likely bring Stark to his knees, or at least bring him great shame. Here's a movie, not a movie ticket. Here's a ticket to Monaco Road Rage or whatever, Grand Prix. Yeah, Monaco's Grand Prix, along with a fake passport. There you go. And that's basically what the 10 Rings did. Or it could actually have been Hydra who did it. I'm just saying. But so many people wants to try to say that the 10 Rings was involved with bringing Ivo into the Grand Plex, even though I didn't see whatsoever that guy actually screams 10 Rings for right now. Alright, so with anything else, you basically had the senator who was being a big fat jerk. And you find out in Winter Soldier that senator actually hails Hydra. Holy frick. And basically that was the same senator who actually tried to take Tony Stark's armor away from him. Because, well, with Tony and his new-founded heart, chances are he's going to bring a messed up cog in their plan. And also, X-Men actually talked about how the drones and stuff, and how something about a senator or something trying to get the robot drones out of there or something. I don't really know. Which basically brings to the point of, if the robot drones were created by Ivo, well, made better, amended by Ivo, along with a bomb in them, then yeah, that does make sense why the senator would have actually said that. But I don't even remember whatsoever that the senator was like, get those bombs out, get those robots out of here. I don't remember that at all. I don't remember that. So if he did do it, which I don't have any recollection of him doing it, which if I do, or if I ever even try to watch Iron Man 2 again, it's not that it's a bad movie, it's just the fact of I have to fast forward a certain scene, and I hate that. I'm sorry, but I really hate that scene. That scene makes it so distasteful. I'm sorry, it just does. Yeah, so you have Nick Fury come back, you have Black Widow being introduced. Let's see, is there anything else? And Ivo is dead. Yeah, Ivo is now dead. And you have War Machine, which that was interesting. So you have War Machine, who Ivo hacked into it and has Hammer's hardware stuff in it. And then of course in Iron Man 3, which this is skipping already. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I'm not going to truly skip. But in Iron Man 3, you basically have War Machine repainted as Iron Patriot, and you have AIM software within it. So that means AIM is able to take control of it and such, which just like in the movie. Okay, so with that said, let's see, is there anything else? Oh, wait a minute. Oh yeah. I already mentioned what happened in the Hulk. Yeah, I already did because the consultant is just the one shot. The consultant is just basically the same thing, but they cut the rest of the part out, and you had to watch the Incredible Hulk to see the whole entire thing play out. With that said, basically you will now have in Iron Man 2. Basically, they initiate Thor. Mm-hmm. And oh yeah, I'm sorry, I'm skipping so much stuff. I'm skipping the fact that he has to get a new piece, the fact that he is suffering. Yeah, he actually got acute alcoholism, which that's the reason why I can't watch Iron Man 2 like straightforward. And you have his dad, and his dad basically proves that there is something that is the future. And what he does with the future thing that his dad actually think he would actually use to create a better world, he tosses that element in the water. I'm sorry, but I just have to say that too. Another Iron Man 3 thing is that pissed me off. He throws it in the water. I mean, you could at least keep it just like what Pepper Potts did with your first arc reactor. I mean, geez, man. That's you see what happened. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm trying to stop myself so I won't straight up go Venom on this whole entire thing. All right. Anyways, let's see. Yeah, you basically have his dad, and you have the showing of he actually was involved in creating Shield because of what Nick Fury said. Ivo also was mentioned, which of course, if no one knows, Ivo is actually Whiplash, and in first Iron Man movie, they basically said Whiplash 1, Whiplash 2, you're ready to fire. Basically just nodding, saying Whiplash is next, along with the credits that showed War Machine. Anyways, let's just continue on with Iron Man 2. That's basically all. But of course, you have to make sure you remember the dude that actually was his bodyguard, because he plays a crucial role in Iron Man 3. Not a big role, but he plays a certain role. And basically, Coulson has a big, nice role within Thor, which basically was hinted at. And the funniest part about it is that he didn't even know. Yeah, the actor who plays as Philip Coulson didn't even know that he was in Thor. He actually got told after the end of Iron Man 2, saying, "Yeah, buddy, you're in Thor. You didn't know that?" Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, wait, no. What happened is that he asked, "What's in New Mexico?" And he said, "Thor. Yeah, you're in the Thor movie. You didn't know that?" Yeah, that's what happened. And basically, that brings us to Thor. So Thor basically made sure we got this wide world. And they also had some secret trinkets in there. They showed that they actually have the gauntlet. They showed they have the eye that Doctor Strange deals with. And they have that they have the cosmic cube, and they also have the robe, that big giant suit of armor that shoots unbelievable powers. Of course, you have Thor, and Thor mixed in with New Mexico, of course, and that the head scientist guy will basically be a crucial role in the next sequel, along with in Avengers as well. And Loki definitely plays a big part within this as well, trying to take his dad's throne and everything. Is there anything else that I forgot? I don't think so. I think that's basically everything besides the Rainbow Bridge got destroyed and then basically the cosmic cube base is touched on because the professor, doctor, whatever you want to call him, he actually, I don't know, he might have been controlled by Loki, and he said that's worth a look, which I think already he actually was getting controlled by him, even though technically you could say he actually, I think he was pre-touched or something, or maybe just the fact that it was Loki who said it's worth a look. And well, Loki basically fakes his death. Yeah, he fakes his death like 2 times at least now. So next up is next up is Captain America First Avenger. So Captain America First Avenger, it deals with Hydra and it deals with the Nazis in Germany. And well, Red Skull was basically a creation from the doctor who created the super serum, the super soldier serum. You also have Becky Barnes that was met, and well, that's just, oh yeah, and of course you have Peggy Carter, who is a crucial role, and you actually get to see Starks' dad when he was young. So with all that, basically, I don't really see any more connection with Hydra because, well, it does talk about how Hydra is made and everything, and they also made sure that Dr. Zola was a memorable character, even though I don't remember his name, but I do know his face, and I was like, holy, that's the guy from, yeah, that's the one who was like, I can't eat steak, it gives me gas. That was funny. Oh man, let's see, is there anything else? Well, we also got the base. It turns out that base is important. The training base that he was trained in. I enjoy Captain America. I enjoyed that whole, he's being a shining symbol within the arts instead of within on the battleground. It was funny how it got real, especially when he stole that girl's helmet. Of course, with that said, basically, yeah, with that said, it's just basically Hydra and showing the fact that Zola is important. You also had Red Skull who got teleported somewhere. We don't know. Who knows? Maybe he got attacked by the Frost Giants and got killed or something. We don't really know. But we know that maybe the Red Skull could return. Just like how not Becky Barnes, my goodness. Bucky Barnes actually returned in Winter Soldier. So yeah, you have many crucial roles that you really need to make sure you know and everything. And the end credits basically showed him waking up in modern day. Of course, I would like to say before you even watch Avengers, you need to search up this. Yeah, just put Avengers UK car commercial. And you'll basically find this car commercial, and this one's crucial for actually even understanding more how important that girl who actually said, Captain America, he saved my life. Yeah, it basically shows everything, and you didn't even have Stan Lee showing up in that one, did you? The reason is because instead of Stan Lee showing up in that movie, he actually showed up none other than in a car commercial that was looped in Avengers. Who knows? Maybe that scene was supposed to be in the Avengers, but Right now, it's basically one where you have to look it online, which I don't even think it's even on here. One second. Yeah, yeah. These days they're cutting back freaking Avengers. So I mean, they're cutting back on DVD features. So yeah, if you have Blu-ray, chances are it could be on the Blu-ray. If not, then you're gonna have to look for. I think it's Acura. I think Acura was the one who did it. If not, it might be down below, just like the consultant is. The link might be down below. So, Avengers. Now we're going to Avengers. Whew, man. Here we go with this. So, basically, you have the Chitauri. You have Loki. Loki's trying to take over Earth. Let's see. Some of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah, wherever that S.H.I.E.L.D. base is, which I don't think we get to see that one again. And if it is recreated, I guess it could be... I don't know. I could tell you that that base has to be redone. That base has to be built all over again. So yeah, this is where Hawkeye, the Doctor... Well, technically... Yeah, the Doctor, Hawkeye, and a few others got under the spell of the Mind Gem, aka Loki's spear / scepter, which Cosmic Cube was also linked into it. So with that said, basically you just had this nice, unbelievable movie that I watched hours and hours on end. And it just basically locked everything together. The fact that you have Iron Man, who still has his suit from the second movie. And he also created a tower, Stark Tower, which is now going to become an Avengers Tower. Of course, there's no spoilers now. I mean, if this is all spoilers for you, then good job. Good job, man. You deserve a pat on your back and everything, man. Yeah, you deserve that whole Amazing Spider-Man car stealing scene. Yeah, you deserve all that. You deserve all his crap talking, getting webbed up on a freaking wall, making fun of you, laughing at you. Oh, anyways, let's get back to this. So, you basically have Loki, who tries to become king of Earth and fails, and because of that, he goes to jail. After a long, hard battle, which, shoot. You have the Helicarrier, who actually was now featured within an actual movie, which is crazy. You'd have to admit that's crazy. And his dad actually created it. Yeah, Stark's dad actually created the specs for it and make it flight and as well. All that. So, with that said, you basically having to round up some of the Avengers. You had Tony Stark. You had to get the Hulk, which got recast. Ruffalo is good and all, but I'd rather they had Ruffalo to begin with. Just like Terrence Howard was great, and Don Cheadle's good too, but I would rather you had Don Cheadle with all three films instead of just having one person and then switch to the next. I mean, I know you could get sued and everything by letting go Terrence Howard, but hey, I'm just saying. I would have rather actually have continuity instead of being like, oh, here's one guy, and then now, yeah, here's another guy. He changed his style. He did plastic surgery and all that stuff. So with that said, yeah, you had Tony Stark getting round up. You had the Incredible Hulk. You had Thor, who came. You had Captain America. Of course, that's a good battle, a crazy battle of Tony Stark versus Thor. And the fact that, who knows if they could actually use that in an all-new thing, is the fact that maybe Tony Stark needs Thor to power up his suit. So Thor electrocutes him, and he gets as much power as he needs. They could use it. I'm just saying, they could actually use that. That's where the fight, So yeah, Loki was still there, and Loki basically used them to get angry. And at this point, this is where they show that they still have Hydra weapons, aka Phase 2, which yeah. Yeah, that's now very, very getting become, oh my god. It's like big, oh my god. Yeah, and the crazy part about that has to be the Hydra weapons were created like that. But I don't know if it's on purpose or what. I mean, you could simply say it's on purpose, definitely on purpose. But on the other hand, it was because of the board who were like, we need to have a phase 2. We need to have this plan. The fact that we make weapons out of the cosmic cube. That's what we need to do. Because of Thor. Which, yeah, none of the board members were Hydra at all. Because if they were, then they would just go along with what Alexander Pierce was saying. But since none of them appeared to actually be Hydra whatsoever, because if they were Hydra, they basically would just say okay, and then they would also gang up along with Nick Fury and Black Widow after she revealed herself. So it's a big oh my gosh moment. I guess maybe they got influenced by some dudes who were within the Hydra and stuff like that. So yeah, could have been hacked emails where they're like, hey, we found some way to use the cube as a weapon. Is it a good idea to continue on with it? Yeah, so Zola could actually have hacked in during that and doing that, all that stuff. Alright, with that said, is there anything else I missed from Avengers besides they got Hawkeye back after getting a blow to the head? Their helicarrier got kind of damaged, but it's fixed. Eventually got fixed and turned into 2 more. Let's see, is there anything else? Iron Man basically had a midlife crisis thing going on now. Well, not a midlife crisis. It's more like he now has night terrors and anxiety. Yeah, serious anxiety. But it really builds up the fact of him getting an armory in the next movie. Let's see. And the ending part was just funny. The fact that they were just eating shawarma, which turns out to be some kind of meat dish. Which I would like to have some of that right now, too. Shoot. Went my way to a shawarma place, which is going to kind of be hard. But, hey, I bet I'll be able to find one easily. So, let's see what else. I think that's about it when it comes to Avengers. There's really nothing else to tell. I mean, only thing will just be where's the scepter and where's the cube, which basically the cube is now in Asgard, but the scepter, that's a big uh-oh, along with the Chitauri weapons too, which of course this is now where you cut into the part. And previously they also had something too, I forgot about mentioning the Marvel one-shots between them. So yeah, previously you basically got to get, no, I think in Iron Man 3 you had... Yeah, Iron Man 3 you had... Shoot, sorry, hold on. Yeah, Iron Man 3 you had Peggy Carter, and then before that I think was actually Item 47. Which was what if some stupid teenage couple got a freaking Chitauri weapon and start using it for evil. Which... I don't think that's even on the internet. All it is just freaking clips. Or freaking some stupid jerk who is like, well, if you want to watch it, all you gotta do is just click on this right here and we take you to some other place to see it. Which I'm like, oh yeah. Yeah. You think I'm not stupid? Click on it, get a virus. Yeah, thanks a lot, you dumb, stupid idiot. Thanks a fucking lot. Like, seriously, I don't think that'll work. Which, it looks like someone actually did all. Oh, frick. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm shocking idiot. I forgot to mention the funny thing that happened on the way to Thor's hammer. Which that basically is nothing but a short thing where you have Philip Coulson showing how he can actually rock it. Yeah. And showing that he's able to take people down when he really needs to, which basically brings no question to how did he take down Black Side. And I have that, and that one will be put down below. So yeah, you get to see that one too. And I think someone actually might have, hold on while I check something out. Yeah, so good news is it is in English. That's the good news. It's so in English. I'm gonna click on this person just to make sure, because he actually has 5 listed, and I'm trying to figure out if he actually has the Chitauri weapon, because if he does, holy frick. Which it seems, yes. Holy crap, yes. High five. Thank you, Jesus Tebar Sanchez. You freaking rule. You have all of them online. Good job, buddy. I'm going to watch what happens on this one. But that means that I'm not going to be able to tell you about it, because this one, I could do movie magic, but screw it. I'm not going to do it. Yeah, so item 47, you just have basically 2 kids in love, one to rob banks. And then you have the freaking dude that is actually secretly Hydra take care of this. And yeah, basically it just mentions the fact that they got the weapon back. Or let me just scroll to see what happens. Yeah, I'm going to do movie magic right quick. 1 second. Alright, I just had to skip to see what was going to happen in the end, and holy frick. Oh my gosh, I'm scared. I'm so scared. So you have these 2 dudes, you have these, it turns out the couple becomes a part of S.H.I.E.L.D., aka Hydra. And since it was actually Sitwell, aka the person that was a Hydra agent, is a Hydra, well, it was because, well, if you didn't see Captain America, either way, screw it. Too bad, spoilers. He died. He freaking died, alright? He died. Alright. So, speaking of that, he actually recruited the 2. And one's working at R&D, the other one's working to know what the other guy knows. So, that means one thing. That means Hell Hydra, he got 2 more heads. Frick. So even though Sitwell's dead, he has that couple, and that freaking damn couple could actually be a part of Hydra. Dang. Dang, dang, dang. I mean, if they're able to rob a bank with a freaking weapon, right? And they were already corrupted in a way, then chances are that means that they could actually be Hell Hydra. Oh, frick. Frick. Well, anyways, let's continue on. So now we got Iron Man 3, which Iron Man 3 is basically showing sins of the past, quote unquote. Excuse me. So you have the birthing of AIM, how AIM first came to be in 1999 with Killiam being a total weirdo. And you also have the fact of the Mandarin being introduced, which lots of people hate. This part of the Mandarin, or this interpretation of the Mandarin, because, well, people want to insult the Chinese people so we can get straight up screwed over with the debt. I'm sorry to say it like that, sorry to be political, but personally I think we should just allow it to be what it is. And if you don't like it, you can go over to China and spit in their face so they can pimp slap you, backhand you, pimp slap you again, backhand you, and take all your money. I'm sorry to be political, but we're trying not to insult people. So if we're not trying to insult people, chances are stereotypes of the past is not a good idea to do. Okay? With that said, let's continue on. So you have the Mandarin, the 10 rings, the fake 10 rings. Yeah, we're going to put quotation fake 10 rings. And it turns out that Killiam actually was under all of this. But is Killiam actually... Yeah, so since they put out Hail to the King, I can't actually make the connection now of saying, well, it seems that Killiam actually is the one who orchestrated the 10 rings way over there. So that means that Killiam actually might have killed Tony Stark too. yeah, so killing him would actually kill Tony Stark too, but of course he wasn't really truly in control because there's so many who, yeah, so I think technically killing him would just be happy with him making weapons for them. And as soon as he comes in the scene and basically say, okay, everyone, I think we have enough weapons for what we're planning. Let's kill this fool because he disgraced me years ago. Okay, with that said, so you basically have Extremis. And Extremis is basically, yeah, it's really different from what it was. Yeah, so basically they made Extremis into something that can strengthen people and able to regenerate. They burn like hell. And there's really no way to killing them, actually. Not unless it's really is like in fire and getting shot up by repulsor blasts. That's about it. So, yeah, you basically have Killian as the bad guy. Tony Stark's place got destroyed. Yep, Killian making sure that the whole Mandarin thing he created actually looks believable. And besides, he doesn't give a darn about Tony Stark anyways. He most likely hates Tony Stark. He is really, yeah, he has a big grudge against Tony Stark, period. He really does. And of course you have Maya who dies, and let's see what else. Oh yeah, Iron Patriot, which is run by Norman Osborn as the pilot, but sadly they don't have rights to Norman Osborn, so they still have rights to Iron Patriot. So they basically used Iron Patriot, and they did have him used for evil. So there you go. That's really Iron Patriot used for evil. Let's just hope that War Machine is repainted and revamped. And as for AIM, it seems like someone's saying how AIM was actually Hydra. Which, yeah, AIM is Hydra. AIM is definitely Hydra. How in the world did freaking the Clairvoyant got Extremis if he wasn't a part of AIM in the first place? Even though it's unknown of AIM's whereabouts, because I guess technically, yeah, I think most likely if the president already knows and president's like, oh, so AIM the one who did this, AIM's getting shut down and everything. Chances are AIM's is shut down. AIM is really like right in the face of, so there's no hiding. Chances are they're gone. And if not, then man, that president freaked up. I mean, they tried to kill you, dude. They tried to fucking kill you. And of course you have Troy. Is it Troy? No, Trevor. Yeah, you have Trevor, who is playing as the Mandarin, and in All Hail the King, it turns out that the cameraman is none other than part of the Ten Rings, and he basically kidnapped Trevor, and Trevor's going to meet the real Mandarin under demand of lots of fans who wants China to rape us in our bumholes. I'm kidding about the raping the bumholes thing, but seriously, if we do this, China will get pissed off. And China already screwed us over by freaking hacking us and learning our secrets. So why in the world are we trying to do this? And why in the world are we doing this? Okay? Let's just be cool and be cool. Alright, let's continue on. So yeah, Pepper Potts, and she was injected with Extremis, but luckily he got it out of her, and they basically were having a messed up relationship going on because of his anxiety, he can't sleep. And because of that, he continued building and building and building, and he created brand new technology. Instead of using Extremis like it was supposed to, the fact that he used Extremis to make sure he doesn't have to wear all that armor and stuff. Well, this is right after he got this arc reactor taken out. And this was like, yeah, so it's basically like right after, years later, when the technology came to actually take the shrapnel out of him. Which they did take the shrapnel out of him, and he threw away all the crap and destroyed every single armory. Every single piece of armor he has except for War Machine, which they do explain where War Machine was in Avengers. Well, I don't know. I can't say anymore. So yeah. So killing him basically is the real, well, is the Mandarin of this movie, and basically he was like, yeah, it was like whoa, and yeah, I also have Fing Fang Foom burning on his chest. Man, I do have to admit this is a good movie. This is a good movie. I enjoyed it so much. The only messed up part is where's ACDC? Did Hydra take ACDC and said you guys can Q say Q, or if you want ACDC to be heard again and live, you all better vote for Iron Man 4 or we will shoot him. Or more like, I don't know what demands that Hydra or Ten Rings will have. I don't know exactly what they'll have. If you don't see our next movies, especially Guardian of the Galaxy that's coming very, very soon, we'll shoot ACDC so you'll never hear their music ever again. uh, but seriously, dude, where's ACDC? Seriously, where is it? I mean, I enjoyed having da ba ba dee ba ba da, I only ba die. I believe I can die. So yeah, that song, that was good that was there. That was good. I mean, I enjoyed it. That was an awesome song. But just the fact that there was no ACDC, it kind of made it seem like, no, it's not Iron Man at all. I mean, yeah, lots of people speculate about Iron Man 2 sucks, but I only just have that one part, and the rest I'm like, is good. I mean, I wish in Spider-Man 3, I wish that there was like one scene I could basically pinpoint, say that's horrible, I'm skipping it. But sadly, the whole entire movie is full of that blocks. Chances are I most likely will see the beginning of it, then after that I will skip and go. I mean, I don't even know where I'm gonna skip and go because it's just, oh my gosh. Anyways, let's screw the whole thing I'm just saying right now, and let's go to the rest of how this works out. So basically, let's go to the fact of what I just previously said. I'm sorry, I'm backtracking. The Avengers, Loki's staff most likely was kept in Shield, but since Shield was infested by Hydra, chances are that freaking wand was straight up winkety wink wink, exchanged hands from, or heck, it was handled by Hydra in the first place, and that's why we don't know. Yeah, that's chances are that's what's going on. So, yeah, and let's see what's next. For Iron Man 3, it just basically deals with the Mandarin and all that stuff, and also the fact that he had a big cocoon he had to come out of to become this person, to fully actually become a person that he really wanted to be. And there's really nothing to explain what Hydra really has doing in Iron Man 3 whatsoever. I mean, the only thing we can say is the fact of if Hydra even shows that they have any armors is because, well, Tony Stark's original 6 armors are right there in the water, and they're able to claim them. And there's also pieces that have been exploded, and even if they exploded, that doesn't mean that all the pieces got destroyed properly. So you have all that crap going on, and chances are it was freaking Shield who cleaned up the mess. So that means, guess what? Freaking Hydra has like pieces of Tony Stark's armor that could actually be put back together to make an ugly looking thing. To make it look butt ugly. Alright, so yeah, next up after Iron Man 3 was Thor the Dark World, and well, Thor the Dark World just deals with whatever is done by itself. The only thing is just that it's preparing what's going on with Avengers 3. It's the fact that, and Guardians of the Galaxy, the fact that they get the gem back over there, and well, I think that's about it. I mean, only other thing is just the fact that Thor the Dark World seems like it could actually go toe to toe with Man of Steel, since it does seem like it has one person and another person battling against everything, but they made it really, really unbelievable and crazy. And I'm gonna get that DVD eventually. Yeah, so is that basically all of them? Is that all of the one shots that really were mentioned? I mean, you also have the. Wow. You always have. Sorry. Peggy Carter. Man, I hope her name is Peggy. No, Agent Carter. Sorry. I'm just going to say Agent Carter. So you have Agent Carter, who actually was a part of making S.H.I.E.L.D., and that's what One Shot Agent Carter basically did, is just showing how she will run S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff, which basically brings around full circle on the whole Hydra was created within S.H.I.E.L.D. and was growing and festering without them noticing. And that's truly all. I mean, that's really all besides going to Winter Soldier and saying how Hydra has now been proven existent and Zola is not dead. And Zola most likely is not dead even after shooting his backup's backup, aka his brain. Which, dude, come on. You think he's gonna have that old stupid warehouse place holding his brain and that's the only copy? Please, dude. I thought he's supposed to be a genius. If he just had only one of those, please, dude, please. Yeah, so. Oh, yeah, I didn't mention that Hawkeye came from Thor, and now you have Falcon that came from Captain America. So now you have three dudes that actually came from a certain movie. The only person that doesn't have anyone now is Hulk. And chances are Hulk most likely won't have. Or basically, Hulk will just be one of those characters that surfaces from Avengers. Because, well, technically, if you just cut out. Because Incredible Hulk doesn't really have anything to do with anything anymore. It's just a movie where everyone was just getting hyped up to actually see the Hulk in action. Other than that, basically, you can just cut out that whole entire crap and say, you know what, get. Yeah, you take Thor out, just say get, and yeah, you basically just have Thor being introduced in Avengers, and you have Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver in Age of Ultron, along with the Vision. So yeah. So, altogether, what does this mean about Hydra? Hydra has a thing to do about lots of things. Hydra was started imminent death on Tony Stark's father. Mm-hmm. They most likely were the ones that helped AIM, because they did say secret funds and stuff, and in Winter Soldier they did say how the ship over there that was in the movie actually did get paid from funds and secret funds and stuff like that. So yeah, basically there's lots of stuff that's going on. And as for the full circle thing, if you're able to tell by this movie the full circle thing, I mean, the only thing that's just planted there is the fact that there was Hydra agents among us that we didn't even know, and one person we didn't really give a darn about. Anyways, I mean, that senator dude, we didn't give a darn about him. If you gave a darn about him, maybe you're Hydra as well. But yeah, seriously, man. So that's just about it. That is the whole entire thing looped together, all looped together. Hydra within S.H.I.E.L.D. I mean, there's really nothing else. Coulson, he wasn't most likely in S.H.I.E.L.D. in Hydra whatsoever. He wasn't. No. Because if he was, he'll basically say, stop that guy, shoot the guy, but keep the suit okay. Yeah. And if he technically was Hydra, and he had a moment to straight up take out. Yeah, he had a moment where he could have shot Potts and Tony in Avengers. He could have just straight up gave him a report. Bam, bam, both dead. But of course he did need them because, well, aliens and stuff. Even though they were planning to actually just straight up say, screw it, we're going to bomb New York. Even though it's kind of. Yeah, I mean, the board members weren't a part of Hydra. Then that means that whoever was like, it's a good solution, let's bomb New York. And yeah, so this is another one of the whole, they got an email thing and they're like, we were all discussing, and chances are they used instant messenger, I guess. And instant messenger was hacked by Zola, and Zola basically said, yeah, you should bomb New York City. Making everyone think it was their idea to bomb New York City, but it turns out it was Zola all along, who freaking said, yeah, let's bomb the fuck out of it. And as for some name dropping stuff, which as soon as I see Winter Soldier and I'm able to list every single person in there, apparently in Captain America they had Moon Knight mentioned, and of course in Iron Man period, they Iron Man along with Iron Man 2 along with Captain America, yet again Captain America, they had South Africa 1 and 2 actually. So yeah, that Black Panther mentioned, and Doctor Strange was mentioned. Well, you got a glimpse of the freaking eye, and you got Stephen Strange mentioned in Winter Soldier. And anyone else? I don't think so. I think that's basically all. I mean, all the red dots that's in New York is basically everyone that they can't really name, chances are. I mean, if they really could do it, they actually would have put like lots of dots of where all the mutants are, where all the superheroes are, even if they don't have Fantastic Four, even if they don't have Spider-Man. They're able to list most of the ones that they got credits for. But as for all the red dots, I think if they did do that nod, yeah, that was straight up good. That was straight up genius. So yeah, you basically have all this going on. And man, so that's all. Thank you for listening, and I am done.